Straight ahead on Morning Y'all, an East Texas man is set to be executed tonight for the brutal killing of his girlfriend's 13-month-old baby, while his attorneys say the state is about to execute a child. Plus, a deadly shooting at a Dallas ICE facility, a sniper opening fire, leaving one migrant dead, and what investigators are now revealing about a possible motive. Also, one football player is doing it all: throwing, catching, kicking, even punting record-breaking yards. He is a junior, a team secret weapon, and a name you're going to want to remember. Coming up, the versatile athlete taking Friday Night Football to the next level.
We got a drier, cooler, and sunnier forecast ahead of us here. I'll show you what that 7-day forecast looks like coming up. So stay right there, because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Our top story this morning: Blaine Milam, convicted in the 2008 death of a 13-month-old child in Rusk County, is scheduled for execution this evening. This case shocked the community, involving a violent and horrifying series of events that left a toddler dead. Milam has faced previous delays, and his family, the victim's family, and legal experts have all been closely watching the lead up to this day. This morning, we'll look at the timeline, the controversies, and the community still grappling with this tragedy. Good morning, y'all. Thank you for sticking with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. Want to get over to Joel now. He's keeping a track of those rain that we got yesterday. It was quite a bit for some people, not as much for others, but one thing I do know is it made it cooler outside this morning.
That's for sure. Yeah, that on top of the cold front that just moved through is going to make us very much cooler, and of course the lower humidity is also going to be setting in as well. It's going to be very, very nice as we head into the next several days. But take a look at some of the rainfall amounts that we received just yesterday. This was sent in by some of you folks at home. You can be sure to send us some of your rainfall amounts at weather@cbs19.tv, and of course there's also social media as well. We always appreciate it. 2 inches in Elderville yesterday, 1.9 for Henderson, just a little over 3/4 of an inch in Jacksonville, a little bit around that for Frankston, just under that for Garden Valley, and around 1/2 inch for Cushing. And that's going to be all the rain that we're going to be seeing at least for a while. We got pretty much clear conditions all across the board, cooler conditions as well. Middle to upper 60s are those temperatures this morning. Also in the 60s is our dew points, which basically means, again, we're going to be dealing with some lower humidity over the next day and for the next couple of days too. We have the potential to reach as low as 59 degrees for the start of Saturday. We got temperatures in the middle 80s. I'll show you that 7-day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Joel. A Rusk County man is scheduled to die in the state's execution chamber later today. Blaine Milam would be the first person from Rusk County ever sent to Texas death row and executed. Our Jesus Martinez will be live in Huntsville and has more. Jesus?
Blaine Milam was just 18 years old in 2008 when investigators say he and his girlfriend Jessica Carson killed her 13-month-old daughter, Amora Carson. Prosecutors said the pair beat and tortured the toddler during what they called an exorcism. Autopsy reports showed 24 human bite marks, broken bones, and other severe injuries, some too graphic to share on TV. Jessica Carson received life without parole. Milam was convicted of capital murder in 2010 and sentenced to death, and that sentence is now going to be carried out later today. For more than a decade, Milam and his attorneys have fought that sentence, challenging the bite mark evidence and claiming he's intellectually disabled. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals put his execution on hold twice, first in 2019 and then in 2021. And I was able to speak to one of his former defense attorneys, and back in 2010, this is what he had to say about 15 years later.
What message would you have to Blaine if you were able to see him today?
I'm sorry. I think I'm sorry that we couldn't disprove a negative, prove you didn't do anything wrong. And we were using, defeating or trying to defeat junk science that was put in front of that jury as, absolute ironclad science. And when you start talking about the soft science of mental retardation, intellectual disability, you get a lot of opinions. And you got a lot of experts who are consistently used by the state to come in and say that someone is competent or they're not insane.
And sometime this morning, Blaine Milam is expected to be transported from the Polunsky unit, the state's death row for men, to the Huntsville unit ahead of his execution at 6 o'clock tonight. And we'll be live outside the Huntsville unit this evening to bring you the latest on any protest or last-minute injunctions. In studio, I'm Jesus Martinez. Back to you.
Thank you, Jesus. Well, right now, the Polk County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding a missing 73-year-old man. He is from Onalaska. W.J. Wallace was last seen by family members on September 8th. A silver alert has been issued by the Texas Department of Public Safety to find him quickly. If you have any information, please contact the Polk County Sheriff's Office at 936-327-6810. Now to the latest in that deadly shooting at an immigration and customs enforcement facility in Dallas. At least one person, a detained migrant, was killed. 2 more injured after authorities say a sniper shot at the facility yesterday morning. And this morning, officials say they have evidence that may help pin down a motive. CBS's News' Jared Hill has more.
The deadly shooting at a Dallas ICE facility being investigated as an act of targeted violence.
This is going to be a sniper on top of the roof.
Department of Homeland Security officials say just before 7 Wednesday morning, a sniper perched on a nearby roof started shooting, hitting windows and a van near the entrance to the facility. Authorities say bullets hit 3 people in that vehicle who were being detained. One of them killed, the other 2 critically injured.
There was no way he could have known detainees were in that vehicle. He was just indiscriminately shooting, hoping to cause some carnage and mayhem.
Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says the suspected gunman, who he identified as 29-year-old Joshua John, died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Court records show John previously pleaded guilty to a marijuana charge in 2016. Now law enforcement are combing through properties tied to the suspect both in Texas and Oklahoma.
Early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
On social media, President Trump blamed radical leftists and called for an end to rhetoric against ICE.
We have been focused on making sure that our ICE officers have the ability to operate safely. In fact, they've seen a 1,000% increase in violent attacks against them.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the federal government has stepped up security at ICE facilities around the country. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Right now, we don't know the identity of those 3 victims, though Mexico's government says one of the 2 injured is a Mexican national. Last month, the same Dallas ICE facility involved in yesterday's shooting faced a bomb threat. Well, both Democrats and Republicans have responded to yesterday's shooting. In a post on Truth Social, President Donald Trump posted in part, quote, "The brave men and women of ICE are just trying to do their jobs and remove the worst of the worst criminals out of our country, but they are facing an unprecedented increase in threats, violence, and attacks by deranged radical leftists," end quote. Investigators have not yet released a clear motive, as we mentioned, for the attack, and we don't know the backgrounds of all the detainees. Meantime, the Texas Democratic delegation released a statement as well. It said in part, quote, "We are horrified at the shooting that has taken place at the ICE processing facility in Dallas, and our prayers are with the victims and the first responders. We unequivocally condemn all forms of violence and urge everyone to refrain from rhetoric that fans the flames from all sides," end quote. Well, of course, we are continuing to learn a lot more about this shooting in the coming days, and we'll continue to have coverage on CBS 19 Plus and bring you any updates through our mobile app. Well, pests that can devastate cattle populations are getting closer to Texas. The United States Department of Agriculture announced New World screwworms have been found about 70 miles from the border. And they say the pest was found in the Mexican state of Nuevo León, which is about 70 miles from Laredo. Screwworms, which are parasitic flies, eat the tissue of animals, mainly infecting and killing cows. The Texas agriculture industry has been bracing for impact. Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says his office is deploying a crew to Laredo to deploy screwworm surveillance traps. And they're sending traps to cruise terminals in Galveston and Corpus Christi.
My most likely scenario is a hitchhiking fly coming up here instead of a fly that can only fly, 10 or 15 miles a day. So we think it's important to, put surveillance around those cruise ship terminals too.
The USDA created special facilities on the border to produce sterile flies that help control the spread of screwworms. And the agency is hiring more mounted patrol officers known as tick riders to focus on surveillance on the border. Texas State University tightens security as conservative group Turning Point USA hosted a speaker on campus. Yesterday's event added to the free speech debate following a professor's firing and a student backlash over comments about Turning Point's founder, Charlie Kirk. Students say disagreements are fine, but everyone should have a platform to speak.
I think we have to have conversations. That's how societies get built. That's how countries get built. That's how we have to be moving forward if we want to just thrive as a society.
This is admirable, people being here, trying to start conversations, start dialogue. We just need to stop cracking down on free speech.
At the same time, other students rallied in support of that student who was seen mocking Kirk's death. The university said the student is no longer enrolled. Students who rallied yesterday say he felt forced to leave school after facing threats and want to see him return to campus. 7:11, time for your morning headlines. Congress has until October 1st to pass a budget bill to keep the federal government funded. Now the White House is warning federal agencies to prepare for mass firings should the government shut down next week. In a memo, the budget office directs agencies to identify programs whose funds will lapse if Congress fails to meet the deadline. Congressional Democrats have described the memo as intimidation, as the White House has publicly blamed the party for the stalemate over passing a clean funding bill. Heads up, if you drive a Ford pickup truck, the automaker is recalling more than 100,000 2020 and 21 F-250, F-350, and F-450 pickup trucks. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the steering column upper shaft could separate while the vehicles are in motion, causing a loss of steering and increasing the risk of a crash. So far, there have been no reports of any crashes related to the issue. Impacted owners will be notified starting next month to take their vehicles to the dealership for a free repair. It was a good night for New York Yankee Aaron Judge. Yesterday, he became just the fourth major league player in baseball history to tally 4 seasons of at least 50 home runs. Judge blasted his 50th homer of the year in a face-off against the Chicago White Sox. And Rihanna's no longer the only girl in her house. The singer and mogul welcomed baby number 3 with her partner rapper A$AP Rocky. Rocky Irish Mayers was born on September 13th. This is the couple's first girl. They also have 2 boys. All right, we're taking a break from our news and weather right now for our question of the day. Here it is. Who is your favorite one-hit wonder? That means they're an artist that only had really one big hit. Do you have one?
Oh man.
Yeah, I have a few. Joel, I'll let you, because you're gonna say things that I've never heard of before.
Well, you might. I don't know.
We're gonna see. You go first.
I mean, I can't remember the name of the artist, but I can tell you what the song is. Like
Okay.
Sail. I think that one is by AWOL Nation.
Sail?
Sail.
I don't think
I've
I know
never
one's
heard
from,
that.
That one was from, really?
No, I've never
kidding.
heard that. Okay.
Yeah, or like Whippin' Nay Nay. That's a one.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's a one hit one. Or
Do you
what
know
does
how
the fox say?
Do you know how to nay nay or whip?
You see what I just did there? I sure did.
It's been a long time since I've whipped and nay-nayed.
You know how to do it too?
Well, my kids would come home doing it, so I would do it with them. Why not?
Man, that was honestly the highlight of my life.
Let's go. All right. You're welcome out there. You're welcome.
Okay, I think for me, there's a song called Mo Bamba by Sheck West.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now you have to sing it.
Oh, I can't sing it on air. You can't sing.
Sing the clean
I could probably
version.
sing like the first line and that's it.
I have a one to rock your world, because you probably won't know it. Tainted Love by Soft Cell. No, you don't know it.
Dun, dun, dun,
Tainted
dun,
Love.
dun, dun,
It's such a good song.
dun.
It's a great song.
I think I know that one.
There's another song that always comes up. It's the Ice Ice Baby
That's
song.
my second one.
Yeah, Ice Ice Baby. It seems like that's like a huge.
He became a huge star, Vanilla Ice did, but that really was it. I can remember us playing that at like pep rallies in school. Ice Baby.
Yeah, my dad always told me. There's a band called Skid Row. They had a song, 18 in Life, and whenever my dad graduated high school, he said that's what his class wanted their song to be.
Oh no!
And if you know the background of that song, it's like, why would you want that?
It's talking about going to prison. isn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
for the rest
no.
of your life. Yeah, I
That's
don't
not
understand.
right.
But I don't know if they had many other hits. That's the only song I know from
It's
them.
definitely it was a good song. I don't know. I don't think it was class song.
No, I don't think so either.
Absolutely not. There's like a list. VH1 has the 100 greatest one-hit wonders. The top one is the Macarena.
Oh,
that is.
And there's a dance to go with that one too. Are you going to do that for us
Yeah,
too,
you
Joel?
want to do that?
I'll pass on that one. I was actually, what is it, like this? Something like that.
Or maybe it's like this.
I know it's like
know.
this. It's one of the orders.
I know
but
the tune better than the dance.
Yeah, I think you should Macarena your way to the green screen and then talk about the traffic.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Dance on over for
All right,
us.
here I go. I'm going over to the green screen. Let's see.
goodness.
I'm probably not even doing it right. Oh, the Raptor camera's on, everybody. Here we go. I'm going to go over here to do traffic. I probably did that so badly, but I hope you got some laughs out there for sure. All right, let's. Do we have our CBS19 on scene unit this morning? All right, do you want to go over to that real quick, or we don't have to? Okay, let's go. Okay, there we go. Let's get outside to our CBS19 on scene unit. We are on South Broadway this morning. Oh man, look at that sunrise out there. It's gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. The traffic out there is very nice as well, and we're going to continue to see those clear skies all the way through the rest of today. Let's take you over to I-20 this morning. So far, things are in pretty good shape. We got 2 hours over to Dallas and an hour and 30 minutes over to Shreveport. As for US 69, 2.5 hours up to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes down to Lufkin. Let's take a look at some of the other routes this morning. Jacksonville to Nacogdoches, that's going to be about a 50-minute drive, 40 minutes to Longview from Tyler, and Tyler to Palestine, that's going to be about 55 minutes. And if you want to get to Athens from Tyler, that's going to be about 45 minutes. Let's take a look at your commute forecast for today, giving you green lights all the way through. You saw that CBS19 on scene unit picture. It's a gorgeous morning out there. Nothing to impact your morning commute. That's why I'm giving you green ×3 for this morning, green ×3 for this afternoon. We'll see lots of sunshine. Temperatures a little bit cooler in the low to mid 80s. It's going to be a great one, y'all.
Thank you, Joel. If you're in the market for a pre-owned car, be ready for some sticker shock. Prices are up, inventory is down, and even repairs are costing more. Why experts say relief may still be months away. That's coming up. And ahead in sports, we get one more look at our game of the week between Troop and ARP, as both teams are looking to stay undefeated. We know that won't happen. Keep it here.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
Welcome back, East Texas. I'm Damian Bartonic, and you know what time it is. Time to talk all things sports. Football season is in full swing, we all know. And this week, it just kind of dawned on me that we've talked a lot about Tigers this week, and that's because there's been a lot of Tigers to talk about. I mean, and they're playing each other in our game of the week in a good old-fashioned catfight. Now, how about a historic 7-mile rivalry matchup, man? You just love it. You got 4-0 Troop hosting 4-0 ARP. Not only is this a rivalry game, this also marks the start of district play, and Troop knows a win on Friday, tomorrow night, could really propel their season into all of their hopes and dreams.
It feels good having expectations to go that far, but we're more focused on the first game and the game that we have upcoming. We're going extra hard in practice because it's a rivalry game and it's the first game of district, so we're trying to make an impression on the rest of the district. I say a win says you're a good team, but the way you play during the game tells you how good you really are.
It'd mean a lot for the whole team if we started district off with a win. We prepared well, and I think we're ready. Against ARP, full bleachers everywhere, and really loud, hopefully.
And we'll have coverage of that game and so many more across East Texas tomorrow on Under the Lights. Now, that game will be 11 on 11, but in East Texas, we play all kinds of ball, and we always win. And down at Trinity School of Texas in Longview, they win by a lot. And let me say that again. They win by a lot. You're about to see. My guy, Jimmy Searfoss, breaks it down for us.
There isn't enough space on the Trinity School of Texas scoreboard to tell the story of their game against Leverett's Chapel.
9 years, I've never seen a score that high in my life.
The 6-man football contest went down in the history books as the 7th highest scoring game dating back to 1994, with the Trinity School of Texas Titans winning 130-96.
We actually went 100% on our drives. Never had a turnover, not a pick, not a fumble, not even a turnover on downs. We were coming out full swinging for our senior night. So all of our seniors, they were fired up and they were ready to lay the wood, and they did it.
Head coach Austin Blackwell hasn't seen an offensive performance anywhere close to that, dating back to even when he was playing for the Titans. And that was before COVID killed the program for a few years. Now he's in season 2 of building it back up.
Come in and you're like, dang, what about I got to teach these kids football. I don't quite get to coach football yet. Well, the teaching's done. We're starting to get to coach these boys. They're understanding, they're firing off, and it's just a great feeling as a coach being over them and seeing that progression from last year just to this year.
And people are starting to pay attention.
The school's getting into it. Little kids are getting into it. Everyone thinks that we're like heroes and stuff. So I just hope that that continues. Like they start to love the game like we do.
And since this program is so new, they're still in the process of proving to the UIL that they can consistently field a team. So they're not eligible to make the playoffs until 2026. And by then, they'll be ready to make some noise.
I want them to realize that we're not joking around, we're actually here to win.
And if you don't believe them, you can check the scoreboard. Jimmy Searfoss, CBS19.
130-96. That's all I got to say. Oh, my goodness. Remember, everyone, tomorrow at 10 and 10:35, tune in on the CBS19 Plus app for all of your high school football needs. So we'll be covering the best that East Texas has to offer on the gridiron. With that said, that's all the time I have for you in sports this morning. Morning, y'all.
All right, thank you, Damian. We're about to step away for a moment while we do our over-the-air broadcast with a news update. We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. A developing story out of Smith County. A 2-year-old is in the hospital after ingesting what the Smith County Sheriff's Office says was a CBD gummy. And this morning, we are waiting to learn if any charges will be filed. It happened just after 5 Wednesday evening on Candle Ridge Drive. That's not far from Lindsay Park. According to the Smith County Sheriff's Office, the child consumed the gummy inside a home and was later taken to the hospital. Right now, the child's condition is unknown, and deputies are working to learn exactly how the child accessed that gummy. An East Texas man was hospitalized after experiencing a medical emergency while in police custody. Tyler officers responded to a reported assault on Glendale Drive, where Rashaw Williams allegedly injured a woman. Now, Williams was arrested and taken to the Smith County Jail. However, during his detention, he suffered a medical issue and was rushed to the hospital. His current condition is unknown. More help is on the way for veterans that could help reshape services and resources for those who serve in the region.
We're going to hand out checks representing almost $2 million, which is a record for East Texas.
The Texas Veterans Commission handed out grant checks to 7 organizations that provide a broad range of services to East Texas veterans, including home repairs, transportation, counseling, and much more. According to Commissioner Chuck Wright, East Texas has historically been the most underserved area of the state when it comes to veteran service funding.
There's a different feel in East Texas than I see in other parts of the state. There's a lot of regional pride. It leads to these groups wanting to help each other. So I love the organizations working together, because as they come together, 1 and 1 makes more than 2, it makes 3.
Funds were raised through 2 Texas Lotto scratch-off games that support veterans. Let's get over to Joel now with this gorgeous start of our Thursday morning.
A gorgeous day indeed, and that's going to be the case for the next several days. The humidity is a little bit lower than what we've been seeing for the past few days, right in that comfortable category all the way through the first half of next week. It's going to be a really nice forecast. And as we work our way into this afternoon, we'll see temperatures in the low to mid 80s, falling back down into the upper 50s to low 60s to start your Friday. We got middle 80s once again for your Friday afternoon. You can see that northeasterly wind holding on, keeping us nice and cool, and also keeping us nice and dry as well. Upper 50s again to low 60s to start your Saturday. Saturday afternoon looks to be just a tad bit warmer, possibly in the middle to upper 80s this time. 70 forecast, absolutely fantastic this next 7 days here. Temperatures in the middle 80s, eventually into the upper 80s by the middle of next week. We have a small ridge of high pressure that'll move in. That'll bring our temperatures back up into the upper 80s to near 90 by the time we get to Wednesday. But we have that potential to reach the upper 50s again by the time we get to Saturday, thanks to that lower humidity.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. A Rusk High School football player suffered a serious injury last Friday. And with no ambulance on site, it took nearly 20 minutes for help to arrive. This morning, the coach speaks out on the urgent need for on-site medical support. And East Texas veterans are getting nearly $2 million in grants to help with housing, transportation, and counseling. Later on, we'll show you how local groups are putting that money to work for those who have served.
And cooler temperatures will be on tap for today and over the next several days, as we do have a cooler air mass that is finally ushered into the area, and high pressure will be in control of our forecast for the next several days in a row. I'll show you what that looks like ahead in your forecast. I'm Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. We're so glad you're with us today. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. 7:33 now. A Rusk High School football player is on the mend after a frightening injury last Friday night against Troop. He suffered a concussion and temporary paralysis, but with no ambulance on site, it took nearly 20 minutes for EMS to arrive. CBS 19's Will Riddell spoke with Rusk's head coach about the urgent need to improve player safety, especially in rural communities.
In football, injuries come with the territory, but in rural East Texas, how quickly players get help can make all the difference.
The biggest, I guess, inconvenience is not having those emergency response vehicles immediately accessible.
Cody Welch is the athletic director and head football coach at Rusk High School. One of his players suffered a serious injury in a matchup last Friday against Troop, resulting in temporary paralysis and a concussion. There was not an emergency response vehicle at the game site.
The situation we had the other night, I mean, that ambulance was servicing 3 schools at one time. Thankfully, our kid is okay and was able to get the attention that he needed.
The UIL doesn't require ambulances at high school football games. In a statement, the organization said, in part, quote, "The lack of available services in some areas would make it difficult for games to be played if this were mandated," end quote. But Coach Welch says that's exactly why something needs to change.
If it was me, I would love to see some type of legislation that would make it mandatory that there was an emergency response vehicle on site at some of these events at all times.
So that student athletes on both sidelines can be better protected under the Friday night lights. Welch said he spoke with the injured player from Friday's game on Wednesday and said he is continuing to recover well. In Rusk, Will Riddell, CBS 19.
Well, the East Texas State Fair has hit its halfway point, and organizers say they are on track for record-breaking attendance. But while crowds are growing, so are the costs. Fairgoers say this year feels more expensive than ever, from ride tickets to the food, and parents with kids say they're feeling the biggest impact when it comes to getting on those rides, buying those tickets, and of course the fair favorite, the food. But vendors point out inflation and tariffs are making things more expensive. One vendor says she had to raise prices by 7% just to stay afloat.
Meat prices go up, all kind of prices when we go shop, they go up, so we have to increase the prices so we can make a profit.
65 tickets is $30, and when you have 2 kids, that's only 3 rides each. So you go through that pretty darn quick. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna spend $200-300 if you're trying to do everything.
Fair leaders say they are working to keep things affordable and remind guests of discount days throughout the week. Tonight is college night, where free admission is offered to anyone with a valid college ID. And then tomorrow is Fair Food Friday. You can get in for free before 2 p.m. to enjoy all the treats the fair has to offer. More help is on the way for veterans that could help reshape services and resources for those who served in the region. Veteran support groups across East Texas gathered in Kilgore yesterday for a major announcement.
We're going to hand out checks representing almost $2 million, which is a record for East Texas.
Pretty exciting. The Texas Veterans Commission handed out those grant checks to 7 organizations that provide a broad range of services to East Texas veterans. According to Commissioner Chuck Wright, East Texas has historically been the most underserved area of the state when it comes to veteran service funding. The groups that were recognized yesterday are helping change that.
There's a different feel in East Texas than I see in other parts of the state. There's a lot of regional pride. It leads to these groups wanting to help each other. So I love the organizations working together, because as they come together, 1 and 1 makes more than 2, it makes 3.
Funds were raised through 2 specific Texas Lotto scratch-off games that support veterans. The grants will support those in need with things such as home repairs, transportation, counseling, and much more. An East Texas restaurant chain is flipping the script on fast food jobs, offering student employees a chance to earn more than just a paycheck, but also a scholarship. Juicy's new scholarship program gives high schoolers or GED students under 18 a chance to earn $1 for every hour they work. After 1 year on the job and graduation, that money goes straight to the school of their choice. A great way to give back and help these young employees. Gotta love that. All right, we're going to take a break from news and weather to bring you some of the top trending stories this morning. Time to get your butter and bibs ready. September 25th is National Lobster Day. Yes, this marine crustacean type shellfish is considered a seafood delicacy. That's because it's expensive.
Yeah, it's good.
Lobster comes in a range of colors like blue, green, yellow, or even orange, but it's bright red once cooked. Some American lobsters can even live up to 100 years old. Maine leads the way in lobster production with more than 100 million pounds of lobster harvested yearly. To honor the occasion, on Thursday, today, make a visit to your favorite seafood restaurant or cook up your favorite recipe with lobster. I don't get it very often because it is a little pricey, but I do like it in tacos. Lobster tacos, so good. How would you have it if you could have it?
Oh, you guys already know. You know what I mean? I know we don't do free advertisements, but I go to Red Lobster. You know what I'm saying? They have it in the butter in a little like dish, and I just have it like that with the butter, and they put a little something. I don't know what all they put in it, but that's how I get it. I'm a simple man when it comes to my lobster, and I love it.
It is so good with the butter garlic sauce. It's yummy. Surf and turf, yum.
I have not had lobster, but I'm also not a huge seafood guy, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, neither am I, but I am a lobster guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a seafood guy, but I'm a lobster guy. I can do some shrimp too. I like to.
I can do a little bit of that too.
Yeah, I like to do crab boils as well. Me and my best friend back home, we can do a mean crab boil, seafood boil, all that stuff. I'm not really the biggest fan of everything in it, but I just like cooking.
I don't want to cook it on my own because, you know, in the boil and the thing. Anyway,
it's a lot. It's a little overwhelming.
It's a lot for me.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
But I do like it, and I think it's good with steak too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love me some steak.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a good chunk of extra money in your bank account, you can own some cool pieces of television history if you want to. There's the Fonzie leather jacket worn by Henry Winkler on Happy Days. Do you know what that is, Damien?
I've heard of
Happy Days.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Bidding starts at around $15,000. You can also bid on the original Batman and Robin costumes worn by Adam West and Burt Ward in the original Batman show from the 1960s. There are also the original Star Trek uniforms of Captain Kirk and Spock and the Wonder Woman costume. The items are among hundreds of costume set pieces, props, and artwork and promotional materials seen in TV shows from the 1950s to 70s. The auction starts October 24th.
Wow.
I always find it interesting when they sell these things. I would, like I've mentioned before, I'd rather see them in the Smithsonian. I don't want it at my house because someone is going to steal it, and then all those thousands.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, not someone, but I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
They find out you have the original, and where'd it go?
And typically it goes public once you buy it. Like people say, oh, so-and-so and from here bought this. And so everyone knows you have a $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 item. It just makes you more, like you said, it makes more of a target to steal something.
And especially clothes, as they get older, they start to disintegrate a little bit.
Yeah.
So they don't have, I'm sure that they have preserved these in wonderful ways, but I'm just saying, I don't need it. But if you have that kind of money.
Do you remember that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation from the 60s?
Yes.
So that was, like, a lot of those figures were stored in an attic, and a lot of them melted.
Sure.
Except for I think it was Santa that's left and Rudolph that was left, but all the other ones are gone.
You know, one thing I always wonder about these whole things is, you know, they're obviously been worn and stuff. Do they wash these before they sell them? Like, are they washed?
They preserve them somehow.
Yeah, but that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, are they? Because if they're washed,
does it smell like the
yeah,
fawns?
I don't want it. I don't want it if it's stinky. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the Fonz probably smelled good. He probably had some cool cologne or something.
He better.
All right, forget the lawnmowers. One Massachusetts man has found a fluffier fix for overgrown yards. And this landscaping crew, they come with 4 legs and a big ol' appetite. Meet Crouton and her mom, Cassie, better known as Casserole. They're part of a flock of sheep and goats hard at work in Franklin this week, clearing brush the natural way. Rush Jennings started lambscaping during the pandemic, first to tame his own yard and then as a business. With just a few animals and a borrowed trailer, he quickly found himself booked solid. Now his herd has grown to 15 strong, tackling everything from poison ivy, I hope it doesn't hurt them, to rocky brush covered terrain. So this is more like for farming situations, maybe not my front yard.
Yeah, no, it seems, I mean, you could still do it, but it seems like a little bit too much to get the lambs out there to just do a little bit of weeds or something
like that. And they
like
probably eat my roses and azaleas, for which I would not be very happy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, as long as they eat what's supposed to be eaten, right?
And how are they going to know, you know what I'm saying? It looks like good food to them,
right.
You know, the colors, it looks
like,
good.
Ooh, colorful.
Yeah. So
they're going for all of it. This is to clear farmland
or
something.
And you mentioned the poison ivy. I hope they're okay, because that's pretty.
Maybe we're just allergic to that.
Yeah.
It's all you know, different.
You're the smart guy. You're the science guy here. You would know all that.
Sure.
I
know about our atmosphere.
Yeah.
What we all know today is shaping up to be a gorgeous day. Just look at the sky behind us.
Oh yeah.
I want to get out there and enjoy it a little bit. I'm going to go for coffee later in between the noon show.
Sounds good. Yeah, no, that is a very good idea. We got very nice conditions out there for this morning and into this afternoon for the next several days after that. Before we get into the forecast here for East Texas, let's take you over to the tropics real quick. We have this new storm, Tropical Storm Humberto. That's got a 45-mile-per-hour sustained wind right now. It is expected, if this can really cut through this area right here, I'll show you in a second, but there's a little bit of wind shear in this area. If it can cut through, it will have the potential to intensify into a Category 2, potentially up to Category 3 for the first half of next week. And it does look to potentially reach the eastern coastline, at least try to clip it. There's no confirmation, of course, whether it's going to actually move into land, but it will have that potential to kind of drift in a little bit closer. So that's something that we're going to have to keep on watching, of course. Here's that area of wind shear. Just over here, it's a low area of wind shear, but still something that it's going to have to kind of cut through in order to intensify. We're going to really keep a close eye on this. Plus, we also have this area here. This is right over Puerto Rico right now. It's got an 80% chance of development within the next 7 days and a 50% chance of development within the next 2 days. And should this intensify, it will be hitting the Bahamas and possibly clip the eastern side of Florida. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that. Again, within the next 7 days, it's got an 80% chance of development. We'll keep a close eye on that, and I'll share with you the forecast here in East Texas coming up after the break.
Welcome back. 747. The Trump administration's tariffs on imported cars and parts have rocked the auto industry. And while many automakers are absorbing the tariff cost, buyers are still experiencing higher prices. Jen Sullivan reports.
If you're in the market to buy a pre-owned car, be prepared for some sticker shock.
If you walk in there blind and you have no idea what the numbers are going to look like, I think you're going to be offended when they present numbers to you that you didn't expect.
Joseph Yoon with Edmunds says used car prices skyrocketed during the early pandemic when manufacturing and imports halted. The auto industry is still recovering. According to Edmunds, the average transaction prices for cars that are 3 years old was more than $31,000. That's up 5.2% from last year. Yoon also says automakers aren't offering many deals these days and buyers have less negotiating power on the price.
Your local dealership may run specials, but it's not the same sales that used to be there before the pandemic.
Yoon says the price of new cars has gone up recently, and because of that, he says more people are buying used. But there's much less inventory, and fewer people are leasing cars, which is also hurting the pre-owned car market.
Those cars aren't coming back to dealer lots as used vehicles, which means inventory will remain stunted for quite a while.
Tariffs are also driving up the cost of repairs. Most imported car parts are facing a 25% tariff. And there's a separate 50% tariff on imported steel and aluminum, some of which ends up in car and truck production. The price of car repairs jumped 5% from July to August, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report, which measures inflation. And repair costs are up 15% from a year ago. If you are looking to purchase a pre-owned car, Yoon says you'll find the best deals at the end of the year as dealerships make room for the 2026 models. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
All right, East Texas, let's get into your forecast. It's a beautiful start to the day. We got that cooler air mass finally settling in here across the area. There's that cold front that brought us some showers and thunderstorms yesterday. And now we got some thunderstorms that are developing over the Gulf at this point as this cold front has continued to move to the south. And we got this right here, our friend, the Big Blue H, as a meteorologist once told me once. I've got that in control over the weather for the next several days, and that is what's going to keep us nice and sunny. We'll see lower humidity. It's going to be very comfortable as a result all the way through the middle part of next week, possibly even further into the later half of next week. In the meantime, got temperatures very, very pleasant in the middle 80s for today. See that north wind holding on at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's keeping us cool and relatively less humid across the area. And we can see the result of that lower humidity. We got upper 50s to low 60s to start your Friday. We got middle 80s returning by Friday afternoon, falling back down into the upper 50s to low 60s again. I think Saturday morning likely will be the coolest morning in our forecast, with a lot more of us seeing those upper 50s to low 60s. And then by Saturday afternoon, because of the drier air, we'll have a little bit of more of a potential to see some warmer temperatures, but it'll still feel pretty pleasant because of the lower humidity. So yes, we'll be in the middle to upper 80s by this weekend, but it'll actually be a pleasant middle to upper 80-degree temperature across the area. Now, comparing that to average, we're about 5 or so degrees below average across much of the area. And then we get to this weekend, some of the area, especially over deep East Texas, will have that potential to be just slightly above average. So the middle to upper 80s is around above average for this time of year. Better chance of that is going to be over deep East Texas. Meanwhile, you go to Tyler, a little bit further to the north, you'll see those temperatures just a little bit below average, if not just around average. And you can see that in our 7-day forecast. Mostly sunny skies all the way through at least Sunday. Then we'll start to see some more cloud cover by Monday. Temperatures still hovering in the middle 80s.
All right, we're going to get back to our question of the day. It's a good one. Who is your favorite one-hit wonder? That means they only had one really good song, but man, was it good.
Man, I've been thinking about this so much, and I think I'm locking in with Mo Bamba just because the cultural impact it had. Like it came out in 2018. You know, I was 20 years old. Yeah, and so I would go with that. I mean, that was a great one. but also Return of the Mac. I think Return of the Mac is another great one-hit wonder. I didn't even realize I was a one-hit wonder. That shows how just uncultured I am in this conversation.
Right. I think sometimes you don't realize it because you're like, that was so good.
Yeah.
Surely they had another.
Yeah.
Here's some other ones that I found on the list that I think is really good. Mickey, that song, "Oh Mickey, you're so fun."
Oh yeah. Okay.
I didn't realize that was a one-hit wonder.
Neither did I.
Because man, in the '80s, was it like super popular? Let's see. Do y'all remember this song? "I'm Too Sexy." Too sexy.
Oh
for
yeah,
my shirt.
yeah.
That was Right Said
It
Fred.
hurts.
"Come On Eileen." It was such a big song.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these are good songs.
Also a one-hit wonder. And let's see. Oh, Rico Suave. Also a one-hit wonder.
See, I'm looking at Joel because
I was going to say.
Suave. Y'all don't remember that.
Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately, I do not know that one.
But all the three other ones I didn't remember either, or I didn't know either. So that's why I'm like, yeah. So I got some homework to do. I got to do my homework. I got to do my research.
Yeah, there are so many on here that I just didn't know, like that were like one-hit wonders. Like "Play That Funky Music" is a one-hit wonder.
I know that one.
Let's see, "Me and Mrs. Jones," which I love that song. It's an older song, but also a one-hit wonder. So y'all got to go look at the list of VH1's top one-hit wonders. Do you have any ones that you like, Joel, that were a one-hit wonder that you're like, man, why didn't they have another song?
Right. I will say there was a couple ones I said earlier. Harlem Shake. I think you said you remember that one. Harlem Shake. And I don't know if this is considered one, but Cha Cha Slide.
Okay.
That's a one.
Yeah.
Actually, before that was even a thing, like the first version of the Cha Cha Slide was like an aerobic stance, and it was completely different. It came out in like '98. The original, the actual one came out in 2000.
Do you remember that song "Mambo No. 5"?
Oh, I know that song.
That was also on the list by Lou Bega. Let's see. There was another one down here that shocked me that it was a one-hit wonder because I thought for sure there were more. Oh, "Kung Fu Fighting."
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
Do you even know who sings "Kung Fu Fighting"? Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
Me neither.
No.
Carl Douglas. Who's Carl Douglas? Well, that's because he only sang "Kung Fu Fighting."
Yeah, shout out to Carl Douglas.
Because that was a good song. We needed that song in our lives, right?
Yeah. These are good ones.
"Bust a Move" by Young MC.
Let's
Just bust a move.
Dun,
You
dun, dun, dun.
want it?
Y'all are better than me.
How do you not know that?
Y'all are better
And
than me.
did we mention the "Achy Breaky Heart" by Billy Ray
Oh
Cyrus?
yeah, that's a legendary song. I know that song right
But
there.
he also became very popular, but really maybe had not that many more songs.
Yeah.
That was definitely his biggest hit for sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sing that one, but I know the lyrics.
I know the lyrics?
Oh, I do. I do.
come on.
No, we gotta do cut-ins. You gotta do cut-ins. I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay.
All right. Well, please do stay with us. We're about to step away for just a moment while we do our over-the-air broadcast and Damien gets out of singing "Achy Breaky Heart" to us. We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for being with us for this news update. An East Texas man is scheduled to be executed today for killing his girlfriend's 13-month-old in 2008. Blaine Milam will be the first person from Rusk County ever sent to Texas death row and executed. He was 18 when investigators say he and his girlfriend Jessica Carson killed Amori Carson in what they called an exorcism. The autopsy report showed 24 human bite marks, broken bones, and other severe injuries. In 2010, he was convicted of capital murder and sentenced to death. Milam and his attorneys have fought that since, claiming he is intellectually disabled.
I think this wasn't an adult, and that's what people are not going to understand when they execute him, is that you're executing a child. And whether you believe he did it or not, this is wrong. And I'll never accept otherwise.
This morning, Blaine Milam is expected to be transported from the Polensky unit to the state's death row for men to Huntsville ahead of his execution at 6 o'clock tonight. Jesus Martinez will be live outside the Huntsville unit to bring you the latest of any protest or last-minute injunctions. A Rusk High School football player is recovering after a frightening injury during last Friday night's game against Troop. And now his coach is raising serious concerns about safety on the sidelines. Rush Jr. Aiden Adams suffered a concussion and temporary paralysis after hitting his head in the district's game against the Tigers last week. The UIL does not require emergency response vehicles to be present at Texas high school football games. In a statement to CBS19, the UIL said in part, quote, "The lack of available services in some areas would make it difficult for games to be played in this if this were mandated." Cody Welch, Rusk's head football coach and athletic director, says that decision puts student athletes, especially in rural areas, at unnecessary risk.
I'm a big advocate for having ambulances at football games because there's been too many instances where there's been a catastrophic injury and it's come down to life or death, and there's been a lot of kids and a lot of families that haven't come out on the end that you would like to come out on.
Coach Welch told CBS19 he spoke with Adams earlier and says that he is continuing to recover. All right, let's get over to Joel now. He has a check on your forecast.
Yeah, we got some cooler temperatures on the way here, actually settling in already. We got that cold front that just slid through the area, and we got some lower humidity as a result. On top of those cooler temperatures, it's going to be a very fantastic forecast as we move forward. We got temperatures this afternoon in the middle 80s to peak, and then upper 60s or upper 50s, excuse me, to low 60s to start your Friday. And then Friday afternoon will be in the middle 80s once again, then eventually dropping down into the upper 50s to low 60s again for the start of your Saturday, and then middle to upper 80s to end your Saturday. Over the next 7 days, it's a gorgeous forecast. Pretty copy and paste if you ask me. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the middle 80s, and much lower humidity.
Before you go this morning, a convicted East Texas killer is set to be executed tonight. Blaine Milam is scheduled to die by lethal injection at 6 o'clock in Huntsville. He was convicted in the 2008 murder of 13-month-old Amora Carson in Rusk County. Milam's attorneys fought the death sentence for more than a decade, but courts have cleared the way for it to move forward. Investigators are working to learn more about a sniper attack at an ICE facility in Dallas. Officials say a gunman opened fire from a rooftop Wednesday morning, hitting a van outside the entrance. 3 detainees inside were shot, 1 killed, 2 critically hurt. Investigators say the suspected gunman died of a self-inflicted wound. Federal agents are reviewing evidence suggesting that attack may have been motivated by anti-ICE views. Time now for one last check of our weather as we head out this morning.
morning. We got some cooler temperatures, lower humidity. It is a match made in heaven, that is for sure. Our low temperatures as we head into the next several days. We have temperatures possibly bottoming out near 59 degrees for Saturday morning, that is. And we're going to continue to hover in those low 60s as for our overnight lows. And then we'll have a ridge of high pressure, a very tiny one that will increase our temperatures just a little bit into the second half of next week. So that's why we're seeing temperatures bottom out in the upper 60s rather than the low 60s, but still going to be hanging on to some very comfortable humidity values across the board. Our 7-day forecast is absolutely gorgeous. Lots of sunshine in our forecast. Temperatures in the daytime in the middle to upper 80s. We have, again, that ridge of high pressure moving in by the middle of next week. That's why we have highs approaching 90 degrees for at least the midweek and into the second half of next week. But in the meantime, it is a really nice forecast, low humidity, and temperatures, again, in the middle 80s.
All right, before we go this morning, we got to tell you something good, right? At most high schools, players stick to one position. Not at Kimberly High in Wisconsin. Meet Maddox Hermes. Quarterback, receiver, kicker, you name it, he does it. From throwing passes to punting a 91-yard record-breaking kick, this junior is rewriting the playbook and leaving his coach and teammates in awe. Hermes doesn't just play the game, he changes it, and he's only a junior. One more year of high school football, and then who knows where the versatile star will land. Here's my confusion. If he's the quarterback and the receiver, how's he doing that?
So yeah, this is what I think. I think they probably have a package where they bring like another quarterback in, and they just like throw him like a screen or something like that. Yeah.
Because you can't throw it to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, if he could.
If he could. Oh, he's gonna be a 5-star recruit. He's gonna be playing.
That'd be
you know what I'm saying?
impressive.
Yeah.
I can't believe that he's also a fantastic punter as well.
Yeah, there's an art to that, and 91 yards is crazy. There's an art to punting. It's very, very difficult, and yeah, big ups to him. That's awesome.
Wow, that's a
I
long
can't wait
way.
to see where he lands
Yeah.
in the next 4 years after he finishes high school.
Yeah.
In one more year, probably be even more amazing when he's a senior.
Yeah, now I can only think of is what Dana brought up. How is he the receiver and the quarterback? You know? Like maybe he does throw it to himself. Who knows?
Yeah, just throws it way up. Throws it way up, I
That would
guess.
be awesome. Well, he gave us something to talk about anyways
yeah.
this morning. Thank you so much for continuing your day with us here on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. You can catch the noon show coming up here as well, and keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. We hope you have a great Thursday. Looking for a change to your workout routine? A new sport is taking over the streets, combining calisthenics and powerlifting. We'll take a closer look at how street lifting works Friday on Morning Y'all. Plus, meteorologist Joel Robinson has your forecast. Join us dark and early only on CBS 19 and streaming on CBS 19 Plus.
Tomorrow morning, though, we got a cooler and refreshing forecast ahead of us here across East Texas. I'll show you the latest temperature trends in your forecast coming up. So join us starting at 5 a.m. on CBS 19 and, of course, streaming on CBS 19 Plus. Want to start it. Maybe it's because I'm at camera. Maybe it's because I'm at camera. All right, we'll go again. Tomorrow morning, y'all, we got below average temperatures over the next several days, leaving us with much cooler and more comfortable conditions. Let's go again. Yeah. Tomorrow morning, y'all, we got some below average temperatures anticipated for the next several days. I'll show you those latest temperature trends in your forecast. So join us starting at 5 a.m. on CBS 19 and streaming on CBS 19 Plus.